Okay. Hi, Internet. This is my first time recording anything and posting it online, so it's kind of awkward for me. But, I mean, we'll find out. We'll see how this works. I started a Twitch stream because some friends of mine told me that I should, and I listen to what everybody tells me, obviously. So, I'm trying it. And the reason I'm posting this video is because last season, I went from bronze to silver, and this season I went from silver to gold. So I think that I have some advice that might help some people out there that are trying to get to a higher ranking than they are currently, which, let's be honest, everyone's trying to do that. But there are a lot of people who are better than me at this game, and they probably shouldn't listen to me because they clearly already know what they're doing. They're probably platinum or diamond. If any plats or diamonds are listening to me, then that's awkward because they're better than I am by a lot. Anyways, that's kind of one of the first things that you need to realize is how bad you are at this game. And I'm sorry. I know that's hard to do. I know that's really hard to do because when I was in bronze, I thought that I was so amazing, and I'm not so amazing. I'm really not. But I was better than bronze, which a lot of you guys are, and that's good because you probably have the mechanics that are a lot better than everybody else. But you do have to realize that there are some things that you need to work on. And the first part of getting better is realizing what those things are. And it just got really sunny out, and I just got really, really pale. So, I think that there are some in-game and some out-of-game things that you need to work on. In-game, it's going to be like mechanics, and it's going to be map awareness, and it's going to be learning the champions, and things to that effect. Out-of-game, it's going to be... Why do you do this, son? I don't even have facial features right now. I look like a spooky ghosty. Anyways, out of game, it's gonna be working on you and just your viewpoint and your the way that you see the game and your perceptions and how you shouldn't be so toxic. Everyone in bronze is toxic. It's awful. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna get to the list now that I have in my Spider-Man book. I made it last night. Isn't this pretty? And it's so soft. It's, okay, we're getting distracted. Anyways, so, my tips. These are in no particular sequential order other than the fact that they're numbered. I just wrote them down as I thought of them. So my tips for getting out of bronze are, 1, something that one of my friends who is in bronze right now, unfortunately, because he's so good. Like, he's so good. He was a way better support than I was when I played with him. And I ADC'd when he supported me. And he was like Thresh God. And he was amazing. So, anyways, he told me that when you're playing ranked, always try to duo. At first I was like, why should I always try to duo? That doesn't make any sense. But it does make sense. Because when you're in bronze, a lot of the problem is people are going to AFK or they're going to feed. Right? That's what everybody complains about. Oh my god, I got all these AFKs and these feeders and these people who just like ruin my game for me and I have no control over it. That's true. You don't have control over them. But when you duel with someone in ranked, you at least have control over that one other person. So now the likelihood of the AFK or the feeder or that one toxic troll being on your team, it's more likely that they're going to be on the other team instead. Because you have control over 2/5 of your characters, or 2/5 of your players. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So, number 2, you have to find your niche in game. You have to figure out what champions you like to play, and figure out what type they are. Like, are you really good at mages, or ADCs, or are you good at bruisers? I found that I'm really good with mages, because that's just who I am. Like, I play D&D, I play like a druid or a wizard or something that's like, I've always played casters. Like, I've always been really, really good at range, and I don't want to be up in the fight. I just want to deal buttloads of damage, and that's what I'm good at. I'm good at strategizing. So, I'm good at supporting, because I like placing wards, and I like having map awareness, and I'm good at that. And I'm good at plotting what objectives we should take next. Good. I say good. I'm not great. I'm good at it. I'm better than the average bear, maybe, on a good day. But I found that champions whose personality I like, that sounds weird, but being able to empathize or identify with the character that you're playing, I think might make you better with them. Because Cassiopeia is one of my mains. And I am far from the best Cassiopeia. Far from it. But I really like her. The first day that I played her, I think I played her like 12 games in a row. And then I got on the next day and I played her like for 14 games. I just played Cassiopeia. I loved her so much. Everything about her was fantastic. And I felt that way about Ahri too. Not to that extent. Cassiopeia is the only champion I found that I was just like, I'm in love with this champion. But the more you like a champion, the more you playing a champion, the more you like their backstory, the better you're going to be with them, I think. So, anyways. Number 3, keep playing, just keep playing. Play all the time. Play ranked games, play unranked games, but play ranked games. If you are winning more LP than you're losing, there is no excuse for you not to be playing ranked games. And if you're losing more than you're winning, you should probably just like go back to norms for a little bit because it's really not going to do you any good. But most people in bronze, I'm pretty sure you're winning more LP than you're losing. So if you're winning like 25, 27, 29 per win and losing like, hi Dale, and losing like 12, it doesn't make sense for you not to be playing ranked, you know? You might go to bronze 4. When I started playing last season and when I started playing ranked, I went from bronze 1 to bronze 4 in one fell swoop. I didn't even go up to silver 5. I just went all the way down. And I was like, fuck this game. Fuck this fucking game and fuck all the toxic trolls in it, you know? But that's the wrong mentality to have because then a few months later I got back on and I was like, I'm gonna do this. And I went from bronze 4 to silver 4 by myself. Just playing, wasn't duoing with people because none of my friends wanted to duo ranked because everyone hated ranked because of all the toxic trolls. But, I mean, you gotta deal with it. So if you wanna get better, you just have to keep playing. So, number 4, you do have to realize that everyone has bad games. Every game can be awful. Every game can be horribly toxic and awful, and that's just how it is. That's just what happens sometimes. You might get paired up against that diamond smurf that just destroys your entire team, and it's gonna suck. But guess what? That's one game. That's only one game, and I bet you learned something. I bet you learned a lot. I bet you learned what amazing positioning he had, or she, if it's a girl that was you were playing against. I bet you learned that you can do these crazy flash mechanics. I bet you learned something new about Cassiopeia, or something about Riven, or something about Gnar. I bet you learned something. Or maybe you learned how to position better as Caitlyn, or that Jinx can take a tower in like 2 seconds if you leave her alone with it, and it's horrible and it destroys your team. But you learned something, right? And that's the best part. You need to always try to keep learning. Always. That's really what this game is about. You just have to keep trying and keep learning. And you should also be analyzing every death. Every single death that you have, you should be like, how could I have played that out better? What could I have done to prevent that death? If I had warded in that bush, would I have been ganked and died? Something to that effect. Or say you're mid lane and the enemy mid laner starts going really hard for no reason when they weren't going hard before. Why were they doing that? Probably because they were getting a gank from someone. Their jungler was probably there and they probably ganked you at that moment and you died. So if suddenly someone goes aggressive, you should realize maybe they're going aggressive for a reason. And then you learned that. And then you learned to ward in that bush. And then you learned not to face check. And then you learned maybe you shouldn't go balls deep in enemy territory when there are no wards and none of the enemies are visible on the map. Maybe. So on the subject of learning, this is a strategy game, obviously. It's a battle arena, it's StarCraft, it's about learning. Nothing is going to change other than the champions, you know? I mean the maps, that's not true at all. What am I saying? Everything's going to change all the time, actually. So you should really be learning as you go, just like in real life. You should just try to keep learning everything. You should read all of the masteries. You should learn all of them. I know a lot of people don't do that since the masteries have been changed. fairly recently, not really recently, but fairly recently, because the masteries have been changed, you should be reading them, and you should know what every mastery does, and you should look at all the runes, and you should set up rune pages for everyone. Runes are really, really important. And you should be asking questions. If you ever have a question and you're playing with someone and you're playing a normal or a ranked match and you don't know how something happened, you should ask them, like, how did you just, I don't know, how did you just ult as Warwick when I had you snared as Morgana and rooted? That doesn't make any fucking sense. How did you do that? Like, those types of things. Maybe you don't know the difference between a root, a snare, a taunt, a charm. Maybe you don't know what they do. You should ask. You should look it up. You should Google champions, and you should know everything about champions. Even I don't know this, and I know that I don't know this, and I know that this is something that I have to work on. Like, Maokai. I see Maokai all the time. You know what I don't know about Maokai? Like, everything. I don't know anything about Maokai because I've never played him. So you should be playing the champions, and if you've never played them or don't feel the compulsion to play them, you should be looking them up, like, in the loading screen. That's what I've been trying to do lately, is look up the champion in the loading screen. You know what I don't know about Maokai? I don't know his passive. I'm pretty sure he has to have a passive. I don't know what the fuck it does, but I know he has one. I know that he can throw saplings, and I know that his ult reduces the damage that champions in the immediate area take, and I know that he can activate it, and it does a shitload of damage, but I know he can go underground, and I know that he can pop up and, like, vine rape you, and it's horrible, and it's hentai, and it's awful, and it kills you. But I don't know what else he does. I don't know what keys those are to do that. I don't know what his passive is, or if he has some weird passive ability as one of his... I don't know what he does. And that's bad. I should be aware of what other champions are potentially capable of doing. But it's not just about respecting the champions. It's about respecting the people playing the champions. If you go on, like, na.op.gg and you're looking up the people that you're playing against as you're playing against them, then you realize that some people are really good. Some people are really, really good, and they have, like, a really high win ratio with a specific champion or something like that. Let's see what P-Rob said now. Okay, anyways, I don't know what I was talking about, so I'm going to move on to the next one. Oh, no. You should also be, something that helped me is watching the pros play online, like your favorite champions. Then you realize how bad you are, and that's so important, realizing how bad you are and being humble about this game. I watched someone play Cassiopeia, and I was like, why is he last hitting with his Twin Fang when they're not poisoned? That's so stupid. Like, oh, it restores mana if you do that, regardless of if they're poisoned or not. It's worth the 4-second cooldown. I didn't know that. I didn't know you could flash ult, and it would always be in the direction that you're, like, flashing. I didn't know you could... I have made so many cool flash ult plays as Cassie, like stealing Dragon, or just stunning their whole team when they weren't expecting it, or something like that. You know, cool things like that. But you'll never know that if you don't watch other people play who are better than you. Or you can just, you know, do what my number 6 is, and don't be afraid to try something stupid. Something really stupid. Don't be afraid to do it. Because you're never going to know the boundaries of yourself or a champion if you don't try something stupid. Like, one time in a ranked match, this was the ranked match that got me in my series from silver 1 to gold. One of the matches I was playing Cass, and I went mid lane, and while I am pretty good with Cass, I'm always a little bit anxious to go mid, because mid's such an important role. So, I was like, I knew they were taking Dragon. They had an Evelynn jungle, and I placed a regular ward and a pink ward together on Dragon. That way, when Evelynn saw the pink ward, she wouldn't sweep for a regular ward, because she wouldn't assume that there was a regular ward there. See? Strategy. So that way I knew when they would take Dragon. And when they went to take it, there was Echo, which was the enemy mid laner, and there was Evelynn. And I waited. I kept waiting and waiting until I knew she was about to smite, and I was behind the wall, and I flashed over it. You prepare your ult first, and then you flash. So I prepared my ult, and I flashed over the wall. I stunned both of them. I took Dragon with the ult damage, and I killed Evelynn. I ignited Echo because I figured he might try to ult or something like that, and I wanted to reduce his damage from that. So I killed Evelynn immediately. They both get stunned for 2 seconds, and then I Twin Fang Echo a little bit. I threw my W right on both of them after I stunned them. And I threw my Q on Echo right after I ignited him. I killed Evelynn, then I killed Echo. Something happened. I don't remember exactly what I did, but it was awesome, and I got a double kill, and I took Dragon. And then we went mid, and we took mid tower, and we took some other objectives, and it was great. But you just have to do stupid stuff sometimes, and sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't, but guess what? If it doesn't pay off, you learn something. That's important. Number 7. I have a lot of these. Maybe I should split this into like 2 videos. Maybe. I don't know. How long is this? I'm probably not going to know until I edit it. Be aware of advantages and disadvantages in the game. Do not fight a 1v3. Don't be stupid like I was with the Cass, unless you have the advantage of surprise. Ta-da! But if they see you and you just dive in, like, how is that a surprise attack or an advantage when you just go in 1v4 or 1v5 or 1v2 even? If you're not super fed or super ahead or have some crazy, like, stun that lasts for, like, 15 seconds, you're probably gonna lose, you know? Don't face check. Don't do that. Vision is so important in this game, and it's so cheap to upgrade your trinket past level 9. It's 250 gold for a Sightstone that doesn't even take up a spot. And it recharges automatically. You don't have to go back to base. It starts off with 2 wards, and it just recharges itself. You can be out as long as your little heart feels like it, and you can keep placing wards. That's so important. You never have to base check with the yellow trinket or upgraded blue trinket, because that places 1 ward and you can use it fairly often. Or upgraded sweeper if you're a support and you already have your ruby sightstone because you're a good support. You have your ruby sightstone. Get your ruby sightstone. Just place wards and realize that gold leads are important. If you go in 1v3, yeah, you might have gotten a kill out of it. Maybe. If you're gonna die anyway, then yeah, go for a kill. But if you're diving in 1v3 and you're not caught out and you're intentionally placing yourself in this situation, you have to realize, yeah, I only gave them 1 kill, but how many assists did you just give? Do you think about that? You're giving people assists too, and assists are gold, and assists can mean the difference between that Ahri having a Wisp and a needlessly large rod and her getting a Luden's Echo. And Ahri was Luden's Echo hurts, you know? Or maybe you gave that Kate her Infinity Edge when she didn't have it before. Just saying. It's a really big difference. Caitlyn might not have gotten that kill, but she might have gotten that assist. And that's gonna hurt a lot. It's gonna hurt everyone on your team. And that's another point that I'm gonna make. You have to realize it's a team game. You are important. You're a member of a team. And no, you can't carry a whole team. You can try. I could never do it. I really can't. I try so hard sometimes. I try so hard all the time. But you can't. You can't do everything. You can try, but you really just can't. If you dive and die, you're costing your entire team with your death timer, and you're giving the enemies gold. You're giving them assists, you're giving them kills. It's hurting everyone on your team. If you're the tank, you need to realize what your job is. You have to build tank. You have to take the damage. You can't go in and then flash out at half health. You're the tank. You gotta stay in the whole time, bud. Sorry. Sorry you have to sacrifice yourself for the ADC and all the squishy carries. Sorry you have to peel, but you do try to peel. I had a Hecarim one time that was just so rude, and he had all the kills on the team because he would jump in and take all the kills, and then he would turn around and run. And I was like, why didn't you use your ult to save your member? Like, your team member was out there, and you could have ulted and you could have helped them, but you didn't. And he was like, I'm not going to waste my ult like that. But it's not wasting. You let them take gold advantage just now. And gold advantage means a lot. If you're an assassin, your job is to get into the backline, get that squishy target, and get out. That's your job. If you're the support, your job is to babysit. I'm sorry. That's your job. You find the squishies, you see the squishies that are getting attacked, you see that they're stunned, you use your Mycales, One of the things that I like to do, personally, is start throwing wards out, because hopefully they'll click on the wards instead of on your champions. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's just a little trick, I guess. You should also learn everyone's roles, like their weaknesses and their powers, and you should learn every type of role. Like jungle, you should know what their strengths are. You should know that they're good at ganking, they might be good at taking hits. You should know what a support should be doing. Warding, you should be warding. Everyone should be warding, but the support should have their Ruby Sightstone. And you should know what your strengths and weaknesses are. Are you really good at diving in and being a bruiser and taking a lot of damage but dealing a lot of damage? Are you really good at sitting on the back line? And are you good at escaping? Are you good at helping other people escape? Are you good at not getting focused? Because that's me. I'm good at not getting focused, and I'm pretty good at getting out when I need to or when I can. So I'm a good support, and I'm a pretty good mage. But those are my strengths. I'm not a good tank. I don't know how to tank. I don't like taking damage. I don't like getting hit. I don't like people focusing me. I don't like that. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at just diving in unless I'm playing like Leona, which I don't play Leona because I go too ham too much when I play Leona. It's bad. And another good thing for bronze especially is finding a champion that is good at all roles all the time. Of course. I picked Kayle for that. I found Kayle's ult to be extremely useful. And when I was in bronze, I played Kayle until my little bronze heart couldn't handle it anymore. I played her support, I played her top, I played her mid. If I saw a Zed on their team, I was like, I'm going Kayle. If I saw an Annie, I was like, I'm going Morgana. Like, that's just what I did. I picked Kayle and Morgana, and the sisters just, they did me good. They got me to silver, so there's that. Realize it's a game. It is. It's a game. Have fun. Competition is a good thing, and it's gonna help you improve. It's good to play. It's bad to get angry. Leads me to another point where you should be playing with people that want you to be better. Just like in real life, you want to surround yourself with people who want you to do good. And you want to surround yourself with people who want to help you improve and to make you better. And don't be toxic about it. Don't be an asshole. Just be nice and be friendly and be humble and be an awesome person that I know you can be. Because you can. Don't be toxic. I've said this so many times, just don't be toxic. The higher up you go in Elos, the more you'll realize people don't talk. Bronze, it's all talking. Everyone just shit talks the whole time. And it's awful, and no one wants to hear it. There's this one time that I was playing Morgana, and as a support, I typically just pick someone that I see is doing really well, and I follow them around. And I help them, and this Maokai one time, he dives in 1v3, and another tip, know when to get out and know when to stay in. And this was one of the times that I was like, I have no mana, I have nothing to help you, I have nothing for anything that you're doing, I'm gonna leave. So I did, because I got out when I could. Because he dove in 1v5 mid lane, just walked up mid lane and just went, and I was like, I threw a Q, I put a W down, and I walked out. I had nothing. If I'd gotten in range to E him, if I had my E at the time, I don't know, I would have died. And that wouldn't have been worth it because it would have given them 2 kills and probably freaking 8 assists. That's not worth it. So Maokai goes, as soon as he dies, because this is when people have time to talk, when their death timer is counting down. And that's what you should realize. If your death timer is counting down, you did something wrong. Like, something really wrong. So he goes, Morgana, that was all your fault. And I could have gotten mad. I could have been like, You piece of shit, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Like, it's not my fault. You dove in. But I didn't. You know what I did? I said, I know. That's what I said. I didn't say anything else. I just said, I know. What's he going to do after you say, I know? Is he going to keep going? He's going to look like an idiot. You can't say anything to I know. Unless they're like, oh, you're just being a toxic asshole, sarcastic, blah, blah, blah. But then you know what I would have said? I know. They can't do anything. They can't get mad. So then later on, I made a really bad engage. Same game. I flashed over the river wall, like from the mid bush over that little wall, and I ulted. Maokai didn't follow up, and I was like, fuck me, I'm dead. Like, shit happens. Flash ult, no follow up, I'm dead. Maokai left. He walks away. My death timer starts going. I type in, Maokai, that was all your fault. You know what he said? I know. And you can't do anything but laugh. You really can't. It's just, it's a game. Don't take it so seriously. Don't be mad. Don't be toxic. There's always next game. And another really important rule is to focus. Much like knowing your job and warding, you should always be looking at the map. You should be focused on the game, looking at the map, looking at just everything. Just look at everything. And try to make sure that you're focusing the objectives. Go for the dragon if you get a pick bot. Once you're mid, maybe roam bot, get a double kill, get your ADC a double kill, take that tower, then take dragon, then go back mid and maybe take mid tower if you have enough time. You know, just focus on the game. Always watch the minimap, always ward, always be present and be pinging and be communicating with your team. Just, it's not about you. It's not. It can be. But when you make it about you, you're costing your team and you're probably costing the game. But those are all the tips that I have for right now. And hopefully that helps someone or a bunch of people. And if it did, please let me know and please talk to me. And I hope to see you guys on the Rift.